Hey witches, how you doing? It is Sunday again. I meant to make, oh, hello friend. Luna is here. Say hello, Luna. She hasn't been in a video for a while. Hello, babes. She's all big now. So yeah, anyways, I tend to make my videos on Saturdays. I like to post on Saturdays, and unfortunately fortunately I had my second COVID vaccine shot on Friday. Go Club Moderna. And yeah, I did not have a great reaction. It wasn't terrible, but I kind of felt like a bag of assholes on Saturday. So there was no video yesterday, and we're posting her today on Sunday. For those of you who are new, my name is Taya. Welcome to the channel where we talk about all things witchcraft, and this is my puppy Luna. Won't you come say hello? Say hello? Boop. This is my puppy Luna, who is not so much of a pup anymore. She's 12 months, and sometimes she likes to pop in and say hello in videos. And for those of you who are returning, maybe coming in from another video, welcome back, and thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Please do consider subscribing to help us build the channel. Today we are going to talk about working with the devil in witchcraft. I had somebody ask for this video. They were sort of like, I'm kind of freaked out. I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm coming from a Christian background, and like that really freaks me out. So I thought, let's talk about it. I think the most important thing that we need to do is sort of clarify what we mean by the devil. In traditional witchcraft, we're referring to the folkloric devil, not the Christian devil, not Satan. Pre-Christian European societies had spiritual forces, spirits, deities, etc., that could be shady or tricksy or even dangerous, but who nonetheless wanted to build mutually beneficial relationships with humans. The folkloric devil wasn't interested in damning or stealing souls for hell. That wasn't his jam. He wanted to make pacts to help humans who needed things in return for a gain of his own. So another key to the folkloric devil is that he can be outwitted by a clever person. The Christian devil is second to God, only to God himself, and therefore is sort of beyond humans in power. Whereas the folkloric devil, you know, if you're very clever, you can sometimes trick him into getting out of your pact or whatever. So, I mean, should you want to do that? Pre-Christian Europeans, when they were introduced to the Christian devil, they saw him as the same as the folkloric devil, which is different from today. Today we realize they're two very different things. But back in the day, early Christianity was then blended with local pagan practices, and they created this blended practice. An example would be they started using the Psalms and reciting them like incantations or magical charms. So to work with the devil is not the same as working with Satan. So for those who are coming from a Christian background and, you know, are a little hesitant, my best advice to overcome that fear is to do your research. It's what I did, right? I spent a lot of time researching the folkloric devil and what that meant and who he was. Learn what he's really all about, and that knowledge is your power to empower yourself to go forward and then comfortably work with the folkloric devil. So all that being said, how do we work with the devil, right? Great, you're like, I'm comfortable, I can handle this. How do we do it? So he can be worked with like any other spirit, and there's lots of different ways that you can work with the devil. But predominantly, the simplest way is to make pacts with him. Right? Make deals to be given a boon in exchange for an offering of some sort. So, what does that look like? Basically, you're going to write out a petition asking for X in exchange for Y. So, something like, I would write out, to the master of men and spirits who we call the devil, I ask for protection for my immediate family and myself from any current plague in exchange for offering a strong liquor each and every full moon for the duration of the plague. If this boon you so grant, offerings will begin on the next full moon of July 23rd. So I'm going to write out all that on a piece of paper, on a piece of parchment, on whatever. And then there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can bury it A very common way is to bury that somewhere, and then somewhere where it won't be found by other people, and then once you've buried it, pour some liquor over the spot. Or you could pour liquor over it and then burn it, is another way to offer that petition. And then if none of your immediate family nor yourself become ill of the current plague before the next full moon, you begin your offerings in earnest. Another example, you could write out, Devil of man, man in black, find my daughter, whose name is who is born of myself on this date, her birthday. Find her a job in her field of study with consistent hours, fair compensation, and kind co-workers by the end of the month of July. Should you take up my boon, I will send you 1 bottle of strong liquor to be offered through a bonfire on the 1st of August. So mote it be. Right? And then again, you can bury that and then pour some strong liquor over top, or you can pour liquor over it and then burn it and light it on fire. Either way, you want to offer that petition to the devil. So those are a couple of examples, right, of how you can write out petitions. So some tips when you're writing petitions. You need to be very clear. So use full names, right? Throw in the middle name if you know it. Use who they were birthed of and on what date, so that there's no, so it's very clear who you're referring to. If you're like, geez, that's a lot of information, personal information, and I'm going to have to like bury that somewhere and somebody might find it, you can write in code. That's okay. You can write it in another language. You can write it in code, like in Theban, the witch's alphabet, or in runes or Ogham or whatever you want. Another thing is to be specific about what you're asking. So using dates and times. I want it by this date. Because if you just say, I want you to find my daughter a job, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months from now she finds a job, was that because the devil accepted your pact, or was that just because she happened to finally find a job? Right? Give it a specific amount of time within which, if it happens, it will be attributed to the devil. If you're asking for a dollar amount, be very specific. If you're like, just, I need money, I need prosperity, and you find a dime tomorrow, you now owe whatever that offering was because you found a dime. That's money, that's income. And finally, like when I was asking for the job, be very specific. If it's just find my daughter a job, I don't want her to be working at McDonald's. I want her working in her field, right? I want her to have fair compensation. I want her to have consistent hours, and I want her to have kind coworkers, right? Be very specific about what you're asking for from that job. Give a taste of your offering with the petition. So again, when you're burying it, then pour some of that liquor over top. It's to incentivize. It's to give a little taste of, hey, there's more of this to come. It's a show of good faith, right? I'm gonna start a bit of an offering now. And then finally, always follow through. If you make that pact, you need to follow through with your offering if or when it comes through. Because otherwise you're going to lose the confidence, and the confidence of the devil or the spirits that you're working with in general, right? You're going to lose that confidence, and they're not going to grant you assistance anymore because you didn't follow through on your half of the pact. So that's another reason you need to be very specific, right? Because if you're like, just, I'll get my daughter a job, and 6 months from now she gets some job at McDonald's making minimum wage when she just got out of university for engineering, right? And you don't follow through on those offerings because you weren't specific, then they're not going to accept your pacts in the future. So again, you want to make sure that you're specific, that you're following up, and that you're making your offerings. So that's kind of a little bit about working with the devil in traditional witchcraft. Do you work with the devil? How do you work with the devil? Do you make pacts and petitions, or do you have another way of doing it? Do you have any tips? Leave it in the comments. I would love to know sort of what everybody else is up to. This was just sort of a really basic introduction, and yeah, I'm sure there's lots of other ideas out there, so share them in the comments. And otherwise, we will catch you in the next video. Thanks so much, you guys.